The wedding music hadn't even faded when my father, Raymond, set down his glass of champagne. "This is our thanks for your so-called support," he sneered. His voice wasn't gratitude, it was venom. My mother, Linda, didn't look at me. She was busy swirling her wine, pretending I wasn't even there. Then Raymond dropped the knife straight into my heart. "We sold Bruno today. Your sister needed money for her wedding shoes." The room spun. My fork slipped from my hand. My dog, my Bruno, who slept by my side every night, who ran to the door whenever I came home, gone. Just like that. I whispered, steady as ice. "Who bought him?" They laughed. Loud. Cruel. Like I was the foolish one for even asking. I didn't argue. I pushed my chair back, grabbed my coat, and walked out without another word. 2 years earlier I had moved back in with them. Raymond was between jobs. Linda's health was slipping. Bills stacked up, the mortgage was 3 months behind. I told myself it would be temporary. Just until they got back on their feet. Paid the mortgage. I covered the electricity, internet, heating oil. I bought the groceries. I paid for their repairs and medications. First they thanked me. Then the thank yous vanished. Then the respect. Then the love. Through it all, only Bruno stayed loyal. His wagging tail at the door. His head in my lap on nights I thought I couldn't keep going. That dog was my family when my own blood wasn't. A week before the wedding, I overheard them whispering in the kitchen. Raymond's voice was low, but every word hit like a blade. "Once she's gone, we can rent her room. Extra money for us." Linda chuckled. "And no one left to question where it's going." Froze. They weren't asking me to leave out of love. They were planning to replace me like a broken chair tossed to the curb. And selling Bruno. That wasn't desperation. That was pure betrayal. Could have screamed. I could have thrown every receipt in their faces, every bill I had paid, every grocery bag I carried into the house. Instead I went quiet. Because when you've been the one holding everything together, you know exactly how fragile the structure really is. And I decided that the moment they sold my dog, they would learn the cost of pushing away the person who had been keeping their lives afloat. The Monday after the wedding I picked up the phone. First call, the electric company. The account was in my name. I set the cutoff date for mid-December. Next, the internet provider. Service cancelled. Then heating oil. Their winter refill skipped. After that, homeowner's insurance. Withdrawn. Finally, the mortgage lender. I had been making payments quietly, keeping them out of default. I told the bank to start sending all correspondence to the actual owners. No more middlemen. And then I blocked their numbers. If they wanted to talk, they'd have to try harder than pressing call. 3 weeks later, an unknown number slipped through my phone. It was Linda. Her voice, usually smug, was sharp with panic. "The power's been cut. The internet's gone. And the bank is. Just call me, please." I didn't. The following week, Raymond called from another number. His voice was cracked, breaking. "You've ruined us. Why would you do this?" I waited. Then I said, even and cold. "You told me to leave. I assumed you could handle things on your own." By January, I drove past their house. The lawn was overgrown, the windows dark. A foreclosure notice slapped against the door. They had thrown me out. Now the house wasn't even theirs anymore. But their punishment wasn't finished. One evening, at their tiny rental apartment, the doorbell rang. Linda opened it, her wine glass trembling in her hand. There on the porch was Bruno. My Bruno. Tail wagging, eyes bright. Beside him stood his new owner, a kind man who had heard my side of the story when I tracked Bruno down. "I thought," the man said coldly, "you should see who you really betrayed." Raymond's face drained white. Linda's lips quivered. They had lost their home. They had lost me. And the one soul they thought they could sell like a piece of furniture was living better without them. I never knocked, never stopped, never felt sorry. Because sometimes, the sweetest revenge isn't slamming the door. It's walking away, letting the walls cave in, while the echo of what they sold, and who they lost, haunts them forever.